called for this meeting is part of our stakeholder engagement. A number of issues had come up from both sides, Jubilee and NASA, and we felt that for purposes of engaging the parties, for purposes of stopping any misunderstanding, and for purposes of transparency, the Commission decided to have this meeting. So basically it was to iron out any issues that relate to elections come the 26th of October so that we have a seamless exercise. Now that platform, of course, did not proceed as planned, and of course it was scuttled by the parties for the reason that there's a bill in Parliament which is likely to affect the process of preparations for the fresh presidential elections. And therefore, we could not proceed with the meeting today. But from the Commission side, I want to assure the country that 26th of October, we shall have a presidential election, a fresh presidential election as ordered by the Supreme Court. The Commission will go on with the preparations for the elections. And if there are any issues from the candidates, we warmly welcome them to come back to us, and hopefully in a joint forum so that we can discuss the issues. We shall not get tired of engaging the candidates in this process of preparing for the fresh presidential election. So that's my assurance to the country, to the candidates, that any time the IEBC doors are open, the Commission is open to engage, and hopefully they reconsider the adjournment of today and come back to us for purposes of any further engagement. So that's all I wish to say, unless you have any questions.
Chairman.
Yes.
My name is Geoffrey Mosu from the Standard.
Yes,
I have two questions. One question is, one of the issues you have raised is that bill in Parliament, and IEBC, or the end user, should those laws be amended. Have you gone through the bill, and if so, are you going to give any input as a commission on what you think should be done or should not be addressed at this moment? Two, last time you communicated to NASA specifically saying the issue of ballot papers, you had discussed with UNDP with an option of having them procure the ballot papers for purposes of ensuring integrity the preparation of the elections. And we understand Treasurer Stephen back and said, no thanks, we have already given you enough money. Is this thing dead, and are we going back to where you are at Agora?
Yes, about the bill in Parliament, I've actually not read it exhaustively. I just got my online copy now. But I'm hoping that whatever changes Parliament makes should not affect the preparations which we are currently doing. And, you know, to run an election, a lot of processes and engagements must be done. So I'm just hoping that whatever Parliament is doing should not affect what we are already doing as a commission. Because to do so would affect the training manuals which we have come up with. It will affect other procurement processes. But I think our legal team will study the bill, and we shall engage more on that aspect. As it relates to ballot papers, the Commission made a decision to engage the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury, and I understand that the letter which you have referred to has been written. Of course, for purposes of procuring ballot papers, it's actually up to the Commission to make that final decision. And this will be discussed. I think we shall have a meeting today for purpose of discussing finally how to procure ballot papers. And so we shall let the country know when we have made that decision.
Chairman,
yes.
NASA lawyers have told us that the amendments being introduced in Parliament also seek to curtail your powers. Can you confirm this and what you said?
And the operations of the Commission, the quorum from 7 to 3, more than you fearful that all this also could affect the operations of the Commission?
As I said, I've not exhaustively looked at the bill. But if it's about curtailing powers of chairman, I think, Parliament has its own process. But what I do know is actually at the moment the chairman needs more powers than curtailing them, because we already have structures We have the commission led by the chair, which deals with policy, strategy, and oversight. Then you have the secretariat, which deals with all operational issues. As we speak, the chairman cannot do operational issues. Yes, I'm not an executive chairman. And so in most jurisdictions, you have an executive chairman who has direct role in doing operations. So in IEBC, for example, if you look at second schedule, clause 7, the chairman has to run meetings and must get in a majority of the commissioners before a decision is implemented. So as we speak, the chairman's powers really are not as what somebody would imagine in other jurisdictions. So basically, I don't know what the Parliament is doing, but let's wait for the bill. Let's see